there is a number that should make every working person stop and think. The average American household spent $78,000 on consumer expenses in 2024. That is up 5.1% from the year before. And during that same period, wages only rose 3.8%. Spending is climbing faster than earning. Every single year, the gap between what things cost and what people can actually afford gets wider. But here is the part that makes it worse. A significant portion of that spending goes toward things that used to make sense but simply do not anymore. Products and services that were once reasonable purchases have quietly transformed into financial traps. Inflation alone does not explain it. Corporate pricing strategies have evolved. Subscription models have multiplied. Convenience fees have stacked on top of convenience fees. Some purchases that felt completely normal 5 years ago now border on financial self-sabotage. This video breaks down 12 things that are no longer worth your money in 2026. Some will seem obvious. Others might genuinely surprise you. All of them are quietly draining bank accounts while delivering less value than they used to. Please hit the subscribe button for all coming videos. Number 1. Food delivery apps. DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub. These platforms have fundamentally changed how people eat. They have also fundamentally changed how much people pay for that convenience. The economics are brutal when you actually look at them. Delivery platforms charge restaurants commission fees between 15 and 30% on every single order. Restaurants do not absorb that cost. They pass it directly to customers through inflated menu prices. Studies have found that prices on delivery apps run approximately 25% higher than the same items purchased in the restaurant itself, and that is before any additional fees. Delivery fee. Service fee. Small order fee if your total does not hit a minimum. Tip for the driver. A meal that costs $12 at the restaurant can easily reach $22 through the app. That is an 83% markup for someone else to pick up your food. The delivery apps know exactly what they are doing. The interfaces are designed to minimize friction and maximize ordering. Someone ordering delivery twice a week at a $15 premium per order spends an extra $1,560 annually on the privilege of not driving 10 minutes. That money invested at 8% annual returns for 20 years becomes approximately $7,800. Gone. For convenience. The occasional emergency order makes sense. The weekly habit is a wealth transfer from your bank account to corporate shareholders. Number 2. New cars. The moment you drive a new car off the dealership lot, it loses approximately 20% of its value. On a $48,000 vehicle, which is close to the average new car price in 2026, that is $9,600 evaporating in the time it takes to reach the first stoplight. By the end of year 1, depreciation typically hits 25 to 30%. Your $48,000 car is now worth $33,000 to $36,000. You have lost more than a year of rent for most Americans in 12 months. The average monthly payment on a new car loan reached $738 in late 2025. That is $8,856 annually before insurance, gas, and maintenance. Someone buying a reliable used car with cash eliminates that payment entirely and redirects nearly $9,000 per year toward actual wealth building. Research on millionaire behavior is consistent on this point. The typical millionaire drives a Toyota, Honda, or Ford. The median price they pay for a vehicle is $31,367. They understand that transportation is a utility, not a status symbol. New cars in 2026 are financial sinkholes disguised as lifestyle upgrades. Number 3. Sit-down restaurants. Restaurant prices have increased 35% since 2019, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. A hamburger at a casual sit-down restaurant now costs $16 to $22 in most markets. Add a drink and an appetizer, and you are approaching $40 for a single person before tip. Two people going out for a decent dinner with drinks can easily spend $100 to $140. Drinks represent the worst markup in the entire restaurant model. A $14 cocktail uses $2 worth of ingredients. A $4 soda costs the restaurant approximately 15 cents. Coffee with a 2,000% markup. These add-ons exist specifically because food margins have compressed. A family spending $200 weekly on dining out spends $10,400 annually. That same family could eat extraordinarily well at home for $600 monthly, saving over $3,000 per year, while probably eating healthier. The occasional celebration dinner still makes sense. The weekly restaurant habit has become economically irrational. Number 4. Streaming service bundles. The streaming revolution was supposed to save money. Cut cable, pay $8 a month for Netflix. That value proposition died years ago. Netflix standard plan now costs $15.49 monthly. Disney Plus at $13.99. Hulu at $17.99. HBO Max at $15.99. Amazon Prime Video at $8.99. Apple TV at $9.99. Peacock at $7.99. Paramount Plus at $11.99. Subscribing to all major streaming services now costs over $100 monthly. That is $1,200 annually, more than most people paid for cable. The platforms deliberately fragment content to force multiple subscriptions. The show you want moved from Netflix to Peacock. The movie you were waiting for landed on a service you do not have. This fragmentation is entirely intentional. The solution is simple but requires discipline. Subscribe to one service at a time. Watch everything you want. Cancel. Subscribe to the next one. Rotate through services instead of maintaining all simultaneously. This approach costs $12 to $18 monthly instead of $75. You still access all the content, you just access it one at a time. Number 5. Fast food. Fast food used to be cheap food. That equation no longer holds. A Big Mac meal at McDonald's costs $12 to $15 in most markets now. Chipotle bowls approach $15. Even Taco Bell, historically the cheapest major chain, now charges $10 to $12 for a basic meal. Fast food prices have increased 55% since 2019. Menu prices rose nearly 10% in 2023 alone. The value proposition was never health. Everyone understood that the value proposition was convenience at low cost. Remove the low cost, and you are left with convenient, unhealthy food at premium prices. For $15, you can prepare a real meal at home with actual nutritional value. The fast food habit costs the average regular customer $3,000 to $5,000 annually. That is money spent actively degrading your health while enriching corporations that have figured out you will pay whatever they charge. Number 6. The latest iPhone every year. The new iPhone costs approximately $1,200. It takes slightly better photos than the phone you already own. It runs the same apps at roughly the same speed. It provides the same fundamental experience. The marginal improvement between smartphone generations has collapsed to near zero for average users. The iPhone 16 versus the iPhone 13 offers almost nothing a typical person would notice in daily use. Same Instagram, same email, same texts. Yet millions of people line up every year to pay $1,200 for imperceptible upgrades. The smart approach. Buy technology 1 or 2 generations behind the latest release. A refurbished iPhone 14 costs half what a new iPhone 16 costs. It does everything you actually need a phone to do. The performance difference is completely undetectable in normal use. Someone buying new flagship phones every 2 years spends approximately $600 annually on depreciation alone. That money invested over a career compounds into tens of thousands of dollars for photos that are 3% sharper. Number 7. Expensive weddings. The average American wedding now costs approximately $35,000. That is $35,000 for a single day. One party. 6 hours of your life. Research consistently shows that money is the number one cause of divorce. Starting your married life together with $35,000 in debt seems like a strange way to begin a partnership that will be tested by financial stress. The wedding industry has perfected emotional manipulation. Everything costs more when the word wedding is attached. A photographer charges double for wedding photos versus family portraits. Flowers triple in price for wedding arrangements. Couples who spend $50,000 or more on weddings are 46% more likely to divorce than couples who spend less than $10,000, according to research from Emory University. A meaningful ceremony does not require financial devastation. The marriage matters more than the party celebrating it. Number 8. Luxury travel beyond your means. Travel has genuine value. Experiences create memories. Exposure to different places enriches life in ways material purchases do not. The problem is not travel itself. It is travel that exceeds what your finances can actually support. Airfare costs have increased 30 to 40% since 2019. A week-long vacation for two easily reaches $4,000 to $6,000. A family Disney trip now averages $8,000 to $10,000 for a single week. The average American cannot cover a $1,000 emergency expense, according to Bankrate. Yet many of those same people take multi-thousand-dollar vacations funded by credit cards. The dopamine of vacation today becomes the stress of debt payments for years afterward. Budget travel provides most of the experience at a fraction of the cost. Road trips instead of flights. Rentals instead of resort hotels. The luxury travel industry raised prices because people kept paying. You do not have to participate. Number 9. Buy now, pay later financing. Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay. These services have made financing available for virtually everything. A $50 pair of shoes, a $200 kitchen appliance, a $30 skincare product. The pitch sounds reasonable. Split your purchase into 4 payments. No interest if you pay on time. The reality is more complicated. Research shows that buy now, pay later users spend 10 to 40% more than they would paying upfront. The psychological trick is simple. A $200 purchase feels expensive. 4 payments of $50 feels manageable. Your brain processes the smaller number and ignores the total. Nearly 40% of buy now, pay later users have missed at least one payment according to a Federal Reserve Bank survey. Late fees stack up. The free financing becomes expensive debt. The older wisdom remains completely valid. If you cannot pay cash for something, you cannot afford it. Every payment plan is designed to separate you from money you have not earned yet. Number 10. Branded products. A bottle of Tide laundry detergent costs $12 to $15. The store brand version, often manufactured in the same facility, costs $6 to $8. The cleaning performance is virtually identical. This pattern repeats across every category: cereal, pasta sauce, cleaning supplies, over-the-counter medications. Consumer Reports testing consistently finds that store brands match or exceed name brand quality in most categories. The generic ibuprofen contains the same active ingredient at the same concentration as Advil for half the price. Household spending on consumer packaged goods averages $5,000 to $7,000 annually. Switching from name brands to store brands saves 25 to 40%. That is $1,500 to $2,500 back in your pocket every year for products that perform identically. Number 11. Subscription boxes. Boxes for makeup, boxes for snacks, boxes for dog toys, boxes for razors, boxes for wine. The model exploits a simple psychological principle. People love surprises. The dopamine hit of opening a mystery package triggers the same reward circuits as gambling. The anticipation almost always exceeds the satisfaction of the contents. The math rarely works in your favor. A typical subscription box costs $25 to $50 monthly. The products inside are worth less than that at retail. That is how the companies make their profit margins. You are paying premium prices for random items someone else selected that you may not even want. Cancellation is deliberately difficult. These services know that inertia keeps subscribers paying long after interest fades. Credit card statements show $35 charges for boxes sitting unopened in closets. If you genuinely want specific products, buying them directly costs less every single time. Number 12. Premium coffee drinks. A pumpkin spice latte at Starbucks costs $7 to $9 in most markets. Coffee at home costs approximately 25 to 50 cents per cup for quality beans. Even expensive specialty beans rarely exceed $1 per cup when brewed at home. The daily Starbucks habit at a modest $6 costs $2,190 annually. Someone who makes coffee at home for 50 cents daily spends $182 per year. The difference is over $2,000 annually for the same caffeine. Invested at 8% returns over 30 years, that $2,000 annual savings becomes approximately $245,000, $250,000, for making coffee at home instead of standing in line. The premium coffee shops are not selling coffee. They are selling experience, convenience, and social signaling. Most people have never done the math. The habit formed before the calculation ever happened. Every category on this list shares common features. They exploit convenience, status, psychology, and inertia. They have risen in price while declining in value. They depend entirely on people not running the numbers. Running the numbers changes everything. Each category represents thousands of dollars annually. Combine several, and you are looking at $10,000 to $20,000 in spending that delivers minimal lasting satisfaction. That same money invested consistently builds wealth that actually improves your life. Your money either works for corporations or it works for you. The economy wants you spending unconsciously. Algorithms are designed to trigger purchases. Marketing budgets exist to manufacture desire. Financing options remove the friction of not having enough money. Your only defense is awareness. Understanding what things actually cost. Understanding what they are actually worth. Understanding the gap between those two numbers. The question is whether you have made a conscious decision or whether the spending just happens while you are not paying attention. In 2026, knowing the difference is worth more than anything on this list.